Hmm. What's up, everybody? DRJ here. Today I want to talk to you guys about what I've learned about partnerships. Um, I guess it's easier. I have far more questions than I have answers for you, unfortunately. Um, what I've learned about partnerships is that it's very confusing. It is a very chaotic time in the industry right now, and there's a lot of people out there looking to make an easy buck off of your hard work and expense, and it is extraordinarily difficult to find answers. I know that's probably not what you guys want to hear, but that is honestly, like, in my mind, like when I think of partners, I think of greedy, greedy corporate douchebags. They're sleazy car salesmen. It's horrifically frustrating dealing with them. The reason why you need a partnership at all in the first place is because if you post any type of copyright infringement worthy material, you have basically three things that can happen. If you do not have a partner, you do not have the contracts, or I'm sorry, the licenses to post that, number one, nothing might happen. If your channel is relatively small, or depending on the game that you're posting, nothing might happen. Two, one of those companies might pick up on your video game, and they could put ads on that, and they could start making revenue off of the games you're posting. Three, excuse me, this could be the worst thing. What happens is you get a strike on your account because you posted copyright infringement material without getting permission from that author or company or whoever, and as a result of that, you're never going to be able to find a partner in the future if they want anything to do with anybody who has strikes on their account. Tough luck. You know, the contracts that you're looking over are very difficult to understand. They're huge, they're written in legalese, and so you have the contracts themselves, and understanding them is going to be very difficult, and unless you have a lawyer that you want to pay hundreds of dollars to take that to and break it down, it's going to be very difficult to understand it. The second part of that equation, which makes it very difficult to understand, is that the people that you're dealing with here, and when you try to ask them questions, are very unwilling to give that information. Either they don't have it themselves, or they're not forthright, or they haven't been trained, or they just simply don't care. For an example, one of the first persons that approached me with a partnership was a guy by the name of Shibby2142. He's actually a YouTube commentator for Machinima. He apparently recruits from Machinima. I've had all sorts of people that are, you know, small to bigger channels from Machinima are also doing the recruiting. I don't know how that works out, but when I pressed this guy for details, he wasn't necessarily a dick. But he was upset or annoyed / frustrated that I was asking questions that he did not have any answers to. You know, there was no type of interview over Skype or anything like that. There wasn't any type of like, here's a frequently asked questions, let me get back to you, and you know, we'll sort out all these details. When you're signing a contract for any length of time, and a contract that results in somebody making money off of you, I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting, you know, fucking answers. And right now what's going on, the way that sort of the culture of the community is, it's so swamped by people that either don't give a fuck if they get any answers, or the people that are in charge, you know, they're recruiting so much new material every day that, you know, they just simply don't care. Freddie W. actually posted an article on his website that has since been taken down that said something along the lines of blah blah blah, you have the power. Well, Freddie is basically full of shit, unfortunately, because while he has one of the most top 10 popular channels on YouTube, 99% of the people do not fit into his case and scenario. And even though you have all sorts of offers out there, we don't have bargaining chips when we come to the table because we don't have the resources and funds and knowledge and advice to draw on. You know, somebody that's making, you know, hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars off of their YouTube channel is in a far different scenario than somebody who's making 20 bucks a month or 100 bucks a month. But like I said, the offers that are out there and the people that are speaking to you and the answers that you're going to get are just light years apart. You have CPMs. CPMs are the ads they put on your account. CPM is like the cost per 1,000 views. It's a business / marketing term. So right now they are either flat rates or percentage rates. To give you guys some perspective, in the entertainment industry, from what I understand, reps in the entertainment industry in general in Hollywood tend to take anywhere from 10 to 15, 10 to 20% of somebody's income, for the jobs that they find them. Well, what's happening in this industry, the contract that I actually just signed with TGS is 60-40. I get 60, they get 40, huge percentages. And while I may have some power if, years down the line my channel gets more popular, right now that's not an option. Flat rates are even worse because what happens is these ad blocks, this is how it works. So a partner basically, they want to recruit your channel for the longest time possible. The reason being is because they can sell that length of time to a marketing firm or whoever it is, the people that they're buying these ad blocks from or selling them to. And it's easier to sell them, extended lengths of time. You can run our ads on these channels, they get these amount of views, and this is the demographic, as opposed to signing, obviously, somebody up for something like 6 months or month to month. It's a harder sell. What happens is that these ad blocks are worth varying amounts of money. So some may be worth, say, $1 an ad. Some other ads may be worth as much as like $10 per viewing. So what that means is if you have a flat rate or obviously a distortedly slanted percentage in favor of your partner, that means that you're not seeing a significant percentage of that money. In the holiday seasons especially, or football season, or whenever ads kick up and become more aggressive and they start paying more for those, you could have ad blocks that are worth as much as 20 or 30 bucks, and what happens is if you have a flat rate, which is $2, which is an average for YouTube channels, your partner could be getting like $28 per 1,000 views, and you could be getting 2. Wow, this is the reason why I get more emails related to partnership offers than any other email out there. More so than emails that say they hate my channel, more so than emails that say they love my channel, more so than any other type of email out there. But like I say, it's a total cluster. You have so many offers, but at the same time getting answers on these types of questions as far as like, what consists of a monetized view? Why are my monetized views different from total views? This is why I left Curse, because they couldn't answer that question for me. Since then, what I've understood is that, oh wow, this is so complicated. Certain channels, certain partners aren't able to monetize the same types of views that everybody else gets. So some partners may not monetize mobile views at all. Some other partners may monetize certain views, say like for mobile phones. From what I understand, with my current contract, you can monetize views from Android phones, but you can't from Apple phones. Even though you may get the ads on those Apple phones, they're not actually monetized. And I guess this was an issue back in the day with embedded videos, which is why people would regularly disable that function. You couldn't embed that video, you had to go to the website to watch it. Since then they resolved that, and I can only hope that they resolve issues with the mobile phones in the future, because something like 30% of all of my views, and that percentage is going to continue to get bigger, result from mobile devices, whether it's tablets, iPads, phones, whatever, and we're all missing out on money from that, so I guess it benefits everybody to do that. So, like I said, the channels, the reason why you have a partner is they give you licenses to post gaming related material. You make money off of that basically as a byproduct, regardless of whether or not you give a fuck about the money at all. Although I will say, the money I guess can be nice, but the money that you're getting is most likely far, far, far less than what your partner is making. And finding out answers, trying to educate yourselves, put yourself in a better position of power is incredibly difficult. I can only hope that one day Google basically puts a stop to all these shenanigans and basically puts all these partners out of business, because these partners are taking a big chunk of change away from something that Google could have. I don't understand why Google hasn't done it already, if it seems like it's so easy for so many hundreds of thousands of different partners to do. I don't know if it's just legalese or legal paperwork that they don't want to be a part of, but I'd like to think that 2 years down the line, Google will basically have wiped out all of them, and anybody will be able to post a variety of copyright related material, and not only not have to worry if their account's going to be flagged, but everybody can make money off of it at the end of the day. Contracts, are very binding. I've seen them go anywhere from month to month to 2 years up to 7 years. And in the online world, things change so fast. you should be hesitant to sign a contract for any length of time. Like I said, there is nothing wrong with finding answers. If anybody knows somebody in the entertainment industry that works as a lawyer or a marketing exec or anything, I would love to interview them. I'd love to pick their brain, obviously, especially if they work on something related to the back end of Google or somebody at the top one of these partners that could answer some of these questions, shed light on this stuff. Get so many questions on this. I still have so many myself. That would be awesome. We're in the middle of, I'm trying to wrap this up here. We're in the middle of basically coming into new ways of doing business as a result of the internet, and the old school ways of doing things and saying you can't touch this stuff because of copyrights just don't work well with the internet. And basically with these stereotypical old school white, ancient businessmen at the top of the food chain are very hesitant to do things that are different than the way they've done things for the rest of their lives. And they have the idea that pirates are going to come in and just ruin it for people. The reality is that people can't get it except for this really small niche that they make it available, like, I don't know, all the shows on like Showtime or something like that, or HBO. The only way you can get it is if you buy a subscription to that show, to that channel, but you may not want that, you just want to watch that show. So you can't do that, so you're left with either the ability to pirate it or not watch it at all, and people are going to fucking pirate it. Also, if you go to a site like Netflix, you'll notice that the amount of material you can get when you get it off of DVD versus, say, getting it off of streaming is totally different. Like, here's your DVD collection, here's your little streaming section. That's as a result of all sorts of copyright issues and piracy concerns and things like that. It's a whole bunch of bullshit, and we'll all be better off when people start pulling their heads out of their asses and allow us to, either pay for and access the content that we want to. That's a lot of stuff. I'm not, like I said, I apologize. I probably have more questions than answers for you guys at this point. I have more questions than answers myself. But as always, comments, criticism, critiques, let me know, and I'll be putting this up on my website and, be willing to discuss this stuff more in depth. So, I hope it helped you guys out a little bit.